Welcome to Middle Fingers Up, the show where we hold our heads high and our middle fingers higher. I'm your host, Kieran McKay. Today, I'm so thrilled to have two extraordinary women here to chat with me. I have Catherine Leyshon. Did I say that right? Oh, she's nodding yes. And Amanda Ballas. And you can reach Amanda at AM Jane Realty. She is a realtor, so we're going to selling sunset this conversation at some point. So I'm really excited to have these two women here today because I had the pleasure of connecting with them through, I felt, a pretty inspiring 40 Women Over 40 Boudoir Campaign that was led by Lori Brown of Lori Brown Photography. And, you know, I'm really curious about today's episode because the three of us actually really don't know each other. Catherine and I really briefly met at a gala that Lori, the photographer, had sort of put on for the 40 Over 40 campaign. And so I saw their pictures at this gala and sort of just had a moment and fell in love with their energy in these pictures. And so sort of like secretly stalked them and found, they're both nodding right now. They're on mute, so they can't say anything. Secretly stalked them. And it's funny because Amanda, I was trying to find all night because you can't actually see her picture in this like really cool boudoir shot, or you can't see her face, sorry, in this picture. And I'd gone to Catherine thinking that was Amanda because I was trying to find all the blonde women. And so I met Catherine and find out, oh my gosh, she's the other picture that I fell in love with. And there are so many of these there. So you really can't compare, but something sort of stood out. And so they let me secretly stalk them on Instagram, and I asked them if they'd come on and chat with me, because those of you that listen know, since hitting my 40s, I'm sort of on this journey of maybe it's like the second act. I want to do things definitely different this round, and I'm just trying to be a little more curious and build some self-awareness. And a lot of you have sort of joined along, and we're sort of doing this together. And so I thought I had a story about why I decided to join that 40 Over 40 campaign. I know what that meant to me. So I'd love to hear what the story was for each of them that led them to that. Because it's cool to talk about as women in our 40s, I don't know, our sexuality, what that means to us now, our inner supervillain coming out and how it's okay to lean in, as well as this sort of liberating realm of boudoir photography that often gets a silly name attached to it that's a taboo. And for me, as you guys have heard, it was a really therapeutic experience to help me sort of work through some body image stuff. So again, I'm really curious about what this shoot meant for these women, as well as like what does being in the 40s mean to them? Because I'm trying to figure out, I have a lot of questions. So excited. So I think they've been so patient that I should just go ahead and unmute them and officially welcome Catherine and Amanda on. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited. Thank you.
Hi, Karen. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm appreciative that you came in the pouring rain on an evening. And so thank you for giving me the time to sort of get together and chat. And I'm curious to see where this goes because we were having the best conversations before we started recording, just getting to know each other. Like we didn't really know each other. So kind of figuring out how we met Catherine. And, you know, you brought up, oh yeah, you asked me if I was the woman in that picture. And I was like, oh yeah, that's sort of how we started talking. So it's really cool. Thank you for being here. I thought, because I don't know you and I know the listeners are going to want to get to know you, maybe you can each sort of share 3 words someone that knows you really well would describe you as, so we can kind of get to know you.
This is a lot of pressure, Karen.
I forgot to tell you about that one. I did tell you about the middle fingers up and a couple of the other questions that we're going to do, but I didn't tell you about this.
You did not.
Sorry. Just take a sip of your Prosecco and, you know, we'll three words.
Can
so
you
easy.
Repeat the question, please.
So think of someone, maybe a good friend, maybe a family member, I don't know, maybe someone you work with, but someone that knows you well. And if I were to say, how would you describe Amanda or Catherine in 3 words? What would the 3 words they would pick be? So we can get to know you in those 3 words.
I would say funny,
This is Amanda talking. Okay, you're funny.
See?
Yeah, I would agree.
We all laughed.
Yeah, I know, right?
You are funny, yeah.
I actually think I'm hilarious.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Driven.
Oh.
And I think the other, unconditional love and support.
Yeah. Okay.
Loyalty. What is that?
Yeah.
That's not really a character. But.
Well, no, those are words. Those are good descriptive words.
You did
I'll
say
accept
3
them.
words.
Yeah. I mean, you can use 3 or 4, 3 to 5, let's just say, if one word has like a little tiny phrase attached to it, that's okay.
It's allowed. Words, not like a specific.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of descriptor.
Yeah.
There was, the gray area.
I'm all gray. I'm all gray.
Clearly that's where I live.
You followed the rules.
You did.
Don't tell me what. Don't put baby in the corner.
I think she followed the rules too. I think
so too.
That was good. I like that. Those are really good words. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a tough act to follow.
It is really a tough act to follow.
Are you gonna change yours now?
No, now, yeah. The pressure is
brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant is how everyone describes me. I would say I'm also quite witty. I'm quick-witted.
You are, yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Karen.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I would say also loyal. Loyal.
I like that one. Yeah.
It's hard to not use brilliant now that you've dropped that one, but
there's that wit.
Yeah. Right. Thank you. Maybe loud,
Oh.
I can be loud. I can also be very quiet. I don't know.
You can do all.
I can be all. I can be all sorts of
You can be everywhere.
I can be
all at once.
Yeah. One word sums everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Everything.
A lot. Right?
Yeah.
She's a lot.
All of it. A lot. And then
Karen, do you have 3 words for you?
Oh.
Turn the tables.
She just turns the table.
Right?
I'm the host. 3 words that I know. I didn't even think to.
Right?
Think
I feel like if you put the pressure on us.
I think, I would hope, because this is hard, because I might, the phone lines might start ringing, because family might be like, hey, like, we didn't say these things about you. But if my family or my loved ones upstairs there were to describe me in 3 words, I think they would say, I would hope they would say funny as well.
Mm-hmm.
Funny.
I think so.
Yeah, funny, tough.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be as in like tough towards them, or like she's so tough she can lift weights. All of that. All
strong woman. I'm thinking strong woman.
Yeah, like on the cover of a black and like white, gray, kind of like shady like magazine where you're like deadlifting like that. But also like
I actually picture you like smoking a cigar more than deadlifting.
Deadlifting with
no, so
exactly.
Like in a white blazer, more like Scarface style stuff.
The third one would be full of shit. There you go. That's what my third word would be. You caught me.
And that was more than 3 words.
Yeah, that was a phrase. Yeah.
It's a descriptor, 3 words.
I guess you could take full and of out and then just be shit.
No.
Yeah, so that's me in a nutshell. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no problem.
Have a good night. It's good having you. Okay, so thank you. Okay, good. We know you so well. Just let's talk a little bit about our middle fingers up, and then we'll talk more about other stuff and things. You don't even know.
I'm so excited.
Planned. Yeah,
that we don't know about.
I know, right? This thing right here.
So. Yeah. You want me to middle finger up something?
Yeah.
I
do, Amanda.
I've actually been thinking, about it, and I'm gonna middle finger up age difference in love.
It's a very thoughtful one.
Well, sorry, I was taking my sip there. Yeah. You're probably waiting for me to say more.
Am I supposed to say more?
Taking a sip. By the way, say more, please, if you will.
I just that. I'm coming to terms with maybe like age doesn't really matter if it seems a good fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Energy is energy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Krishnell and Chief
Flip. We already
dropped
We are not even 10 minutes in, and Amanda brought up selling sunset. So,
and, just loving energy, loving how you feel when you're with somebody.
Chrishell? Is that who you are?
I guess so.
You're Chrishell. Hey, interesting. Okay. I would think you would be Mary.
Oh, Mary. Oh, it could be because she is dating a younger man.
Okay, well, I also thought because she is
married too. Are they married? I told you I'm 2 seasons behind. Are they still together?
Yeah, spoiler alert. Wow,
sure.
Catherine, you just yes.
Am I correct? But I could be
but
making assumptions.
Some people may have, because this show came out like 100 years ago, and some of us are only just starting. I literally just finished watching it like 2 weeks ago, but yes, spoiler alert, they do get married.
Oh.
Romaine. The French lover.
The lettuce.
The lettuce.
See, I would never, that's how I would remember his name.
Yeah, lettuce.
And I would probably call him Lettuce. So
you probably call him, like, you forget, you'd be like, kale?
Yeah, totally.
Arugula.
I was just going to say arugula. So today, actually, in fact, when I was doing that shoot this morning, the camera guy used to work at Global, and I have a good friend that works there. And so I was asking him if he knew some people. And then one of the people's husband, I couldn't remember his name, but I know that I called him soya sauce for whatever reason. So I was like, did you know soya sauce? I was like, so I literally make up
names. That's great. I can't wait to hear one. Mine's probably like Beyonce or something like that.
Probably.
Yeah, right, Catherine?
Yeah,
right,
I'm thinking so.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to your middle fingers up. So you feel that there's a stigma towards, is it like women dating younger men?
No,
or
it's for me.
Oh, like for personal for you.
Personal for me. Yeah. So which goes back to like childhood trauma stuff, you know? So just like feeling abandoned, right? And abandonment. And so I feel like, what's the point if if we're together in 10 years, I'm going to be almost 55 and you're only like 40 something.
Right.
Why would you want to date a 60-year-old when you could date a 20-year-old? So I feel like it'd be like, but really, I shouldn't think that way.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard not to.
Who knows what would ever happen? Maybe it'd be fantastic. Maybe it only lasts however long anyway. Right. Yeah. But that is like me right now trying to be not rewriting that story in my head.
Yeah. That's tough.
It's interesting.
Well, that's tough because we often, when we're like posed with these sort of situations, I feel it is like going back and talking to our younger self or inner child, looking back, because so much of what our environment was like as a child makes up who we are as an adult. And sometimes we don't recognize these things until we're in a certain situation. Yeah. So, so here you are. Yeah. And you're your own stigma of, okay, well, and I don't think that's entirely like yours to wear on your shoulders. I think that's like sort of how society has built women as well over the years is, you look at even in Hollywood, you hit 30 and you're old, and because there's always someone young and hot, but like the men can be, Tom Cruise like probably has like a new hip and a new knee. But he's, starring in movies with these young women. And so, like, I think it's hard not to be in that place, I would imagine, too.
It's just, but I know, like, going back to, like, whatever, Chriselle and G-Flip. But, like,
let's bring this back to
something.
Yeah, so Chriselle was married. Let's, like, bring people up to speed for 6 years. It was a quick divorce. Like, she didn't know. She was blindsided by this divorce that her husband, she found out through TMZ and all this stuff. Anyways, and then all of a sudden the next season, she's wearing more leather and, like, hot pink lipstick and neon. And that was the introduction to the fact that she was finding a different part of herself and engaged in a same-sex relationship.
And that's I am heterosexual. Yeah. And
thank you for
confirming just that.
Yeah. What blood type are you though?
We need this
AB negative. AB negative. I actually have a rare blood type.
Oh my god, you know it.
Yeah.
Do you know, Catherine?
You know what? I'm actually not sure what my blood type is because I'm unable to donate blood, so I just threw it out the window.
Oh. We all want to know why.
Why, right?
Why?
Let me share it with you. I've been over to the UK too many times.
What?
Just in case I have mad cow. It's a question.
Is this a thing?
It's a thing. I know. I've tried to donate several times,
and they won't let you.
There.
So you're like banned from donating blood. Like they have your picture up. If you show up, they're like, don't let this woman.
She has been to the UK too many times. She's been to a farm.
What? I did not know this. Am I supposed to know this?
It's on the list. I asked, I clarified too.
Clearly, I don't donate blood.
I was going to just say that. Obviously, you do not.
I'm selfish. I keep all my blood to me.
Selfish
lady. I need to do it more.
I could donate my bone marrow.
Oh.
But I could not
donate
blood.
And not plasma, no, nothing. Just bone marrow.
No.
But red blood cells are made in
blood, yes. But a bone marrow donation until I aged out. I was on the list.
Here's this thing. I'm trying to be better, as you know.
Mhm.
Anytime you feel like donating blood, holla at me.
Yeah.
And I'll go do it for you.
Okay.
Because at least I have a reason to. Because I'm really bad. I want to do it, but I don't go do it. So you tell me when you're like, I really feel like donating blood, but I can't.
And maybe I should read the rules again.
Oh yeah, maybe it's
they have updated
now.
a few of the rules.
Okay.
Very
minutely.
Oh
yeah, that's okay. Okay, so do you want to add to your middle fingers up?
I don't think so. Just that.
Well,
I just gave it the middle finger, so fuck it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Get it off your chest. That's right. Middle fingers up to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look forward to it. I feel like that theme is going to come up today as we talk.
Whole point was just, if it feels good, why not do it?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to a point.
Yeah.
But when like my energy,
about the age gap,
I know,
to a certain point, if age gap was legal,
yeah.
Is that what you're?
Yes, that's exactly what I was getting.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a line.
They want to cross
that line.
Should
yes,
not be
that's
crossed.
right. Yes, Bieber is more than legal now.
Oh yes, he is actually. Yeah. He's also
Shawn
younger
Mendes
than me
too. Yeah, so.
I'm not into Shawn Mendes.
Well, that's fair.
JB, all right.
Tomatoes.
Anyway, but like just when I attract, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So I do attract either younger people who are my age-ish or people who are younger than me. Yeah. And it's because we're more actually like, it's not really an immaturity level or anything because they're more mature. Mm-hmm. I'm just young at heart. Mm-hmm. And then you like meet in the middle. Yeah. And I don't know. Yeah. I mean, if you're all on the same page about values, where you want to go in life. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Well, my old friend, rest in peace, Aaliyah, once said, age ain't nothing but a number.
Yeah, so I hear that a few times.
I feel like you got to take her advice because...
Yep, it's true.
If your heart's going there and if you feel that you're not hurting anyone or yourself making that decision and you can help yourself not to think so far ahead because we don't know. Like, I was trying to remind myself, I'm in a marriage, I have children, and, we're all committed, but like, I don't know that something bad's going to happen tomorrow and we won't be a family tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like that I don't want to say it, but like something scary or bad happens. So like, there's also other things that can come up in our life that can get in the way, health and all these other things. And so I think sometimes that fear is just like, you gotta beat at it because it paralyzes us. Live your life when you could have a really cool opportunity. Mm-hmm. Right?
Totally.
So I think I should be the next Dear Abby.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it.
Dear K-Dog.
Dear K-Dog.
I gotta think of a better nickname for you. Just hasn't come.
Amanda was giving us nicknames, but I don't have one yet.
Mine was Sea-Dog, and therefore I got mine as Sea-Dog, so I passed it on to Kieran as K-Dog.
Yeah, that's right. So we're just we're A-Dog and C-Dog and
just A-Dog,
a bunch of dogs here.
Just a bunch of dogs with W's. Catherine? What do you want to put your middle fingers up to?
Okay, well, I had a very lighthearted one. However, I think I should switch it.
Oh,
it's for like a group of women.
Okay, yeah, we are.
Yeah, so my middle finger up. The assumption that people make when a woman does not have children.
Oh.
And why do you feel the need to ask the reason why? I'd like to give my middle finger up to that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm with you, girl.
Yeah.
Right? Middle fingers up.
Yeah.
Right? You don't know my reason.
Yeah. That's right.
Maybe I couldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't want to.
Maybe you did.
Maybe I did.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, it just didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. And maybe you just don't want to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's okay too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Just a gentleman asked me, a complete stranger at the dog park.
Just like,
I have a new puppy.
So weird. Like where does that even come up at the dog park? But okay.
He asked me, and do you have any children? And I said, no. And he said, may I ask why? And I thought, this could be a very sensitive topic.
I'm like, why is a dude asking you this?
Right? Is he like a grandpa age?
Grandpa age, yes. And he was quite lovely. I told him, now that I'm in my 40s, it's just not possible. And he said, oh my goodness, I thought you were 20. And I said, well, we can keep on talking. But
there's that wit again.
Yeah.
Right?
So so you don't really know why. Maybe I had tried. Maybe it was just a really painful
also we're not
conversation.
entitled to it.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up.
Wow,
we did episode 2 was about fertility struggles that I had 2 women on, and they, for different reasons, were having these struggles. And we talked a lot about this. And even myself, it was really recent. One of those women was my cousin. And I invited her on because she's in her 30s and she is trying to have kids and is at that IVF level. And it's gone through quite a bit, and posts a lot of gentle education just about how we can change the script, because my generation and maybe the generation before us, it is, why don't you have kids? And it used to be very simple that if you didn't have kids, it was because you couldn't have them or you were selfish. Really, at the end of the day, there was one or the other. Yeah, there was no you didn't want to have kids, and there was no you had and you didn't, because everybody would know, right? So I think that really plays a part. And so, or when people are trying to have kids, I felt really bad because my cousin had posted, when someone tells you that they weren't able to get pregnant, saying things to them like, don't worry, don't stress about it, like you're stressing, right. And I remember being that person and doing that. So I just, like myself thinking, oh yeah, like who the fuck am I to say something like that? Like, we're just so, I think we have a hard time with silence or the period at the end of a sentence. So you saying, well, I don't, is kind of the end of that. Yeah. Even before that it even starts, but not.
It's a conversation that maybe you want to have with people that you know and love.
Yeah, yeah.
Not just a random stranger.
But random strangers. Yeah. And the assumptions that you make, right? Yeah. There's always an assumption that...
Yeah. So would you have... And I'm just going to ask this for I don't even know what reason, but...
Why don't I have children?
No.
Yeah. So why don't you?
What's up with that, Leyshon?
Yeah, Leyshon, why don't? Yeah. Care to elaborate?
So I know he asked you if it was okay. Did he? Right? He just said ask.
He just asked, may I ask you? And he thought it was maybe societal.
Did you think about telling him? Did you think about saying
educating him on,
or no, just saying being no, that's something I'm not. I don't want to share with you.
Yeah, I'm not that sensitive about it. Yeah, it's just for me, it's something, it just didn't happen.
Yeah,
it's not that I really wanted children and I was unable to.
Yeah,
it's just life didn't lead me down that path.
Yeah,
which is actually a new normal for a lot of people, right? But it's unconventional for the prior generation. So his 100%. Generation, it's unconventional to have an unmarried, childless woman.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's just not possible. And there's more and more women that are choosing, and couples that are choosing.
Absolutely.
Some, aren't able to, but I am hearing a few young people that are saying, well, I don't think that's for us. And I think a lot of people have their opinions, and I think that's just your opinion. You don't get to really weigh in on that. I think it's hard for grandparents because then they grieve, when I had those women on, the guests on, one of the guests' mom reached out to me and was like, oh, I'm learning so much about my daughter, because it's been hard for them to have that conversation because her mom's also grieving not being able to be a grandma while her daughter is going through. So all these things come up for people, and you don't always realize what it's like for the other. Mm-hmm. And so, I think there's lots of reasons why people are choosing not to. And it's just more and more, I think we need to hear and remind each other, we're just not privy to, it's the same as how much do you make?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, or, you don't.
But really, how much do you?
Yeah. Zero. Sometimes negative zero.
This podcast isn't bringing it in.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yet
there's a lot of zeros on my check. A lot of commas. Of commas on this check. If there ain't no commas, we ain't signing checks over here. Carrie's going to edit that, because every time I tried to do gangster, he's like, stop it.
I legitimately felt like a gangster, though, when you
I know, through the intro. Thank you for letting me make you feel that way, because everyone else in my life's like, stop it.
Carrie, let it be gangster.
May I share my lighthhearted piece?
Yeah, you can do too. You know what? I'll give up my MFU. You take it.
So I just wanted to, this can be edited out.
No, it won't.
My second middle finger's up was meant to be a public service announcement.
Oh.
I'm going to do some highway driving.
Oh.
And if you're not actively overtaking a car,
Yes.
get out of that left lane.
Yeah.
You don't need to be there.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Wow.
Pull back into that right lane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Full of traffic, people.
Did you grow up in a small town?
I did. I grew up in it's a city.
Oh.
Small city.
It's a small city?
It makes the city limit.
Does it?
Population.
Yeah, there's like 30,000 people.
However,
10,000?
it's my biggest pet peeve.
But that's what I'm saying. Small town people from small towns learn how to really drive and know how to teach people how to drive. And I have learned this from my husband and his dad. When you are in the left lane, it is only meant to pass.
Yeah.
So like I've been taught that's how you do. You don't just drive. And if you're a big ass truck or a camper, you should not even be in that lane.
Yeah, get out of there.
Why'd you decide to do that?
Apparently the rule varies by province of how it's read.
Vancouver is like you only drive in the fast lane if you're gonna go fast and furious.
Right?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's slower traffic to the right, or it says passing.
Yeah.
Only on the left, right? That's correct.
Are you gonna are we gonna vote for Clayson soon? Like,
right.
I feel like you could take this to the local ward. Or
I can be the
ward
traffic ward representative.
I really think so. I'd vote for you.
Thank you.
I'd vote for you too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to be your campaign manager.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I will fix traffic.
Yeah.
Only if I could, right?
Can you fix the merge issue?
The merging issue. Zipper, people.
That'll never be fixed.
Zipper.
That's like the whole when pigs fly thing. Good job. Okay, good. We did it. We did the MFUs. Okay. So would you guys like to get into the stories that led to how you decided to be part of the 40 over 40 campaign? Like sort of how you got there?
Let's do this, A-Dog.
Yeah.
Casey Dog.
Yeah, who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Yeah, go for it.
So just what led me there?
Yes, yeah.
And just more like self-love. It was a treat for myself, really. Yeah. Just been working on, just a lot of like self-love, self-acceptance. A few years ago, just was not in a great place. And so kind of rebuilt up again. And and even just recently too, is just, I don't know, everything has just been aligning wonderfully and just becoming more, I don't know, just feels like clear, the clarity starting to come and getting. So anyway, I just did it for myself. I did it because I wanted something beautiful for myself.
Do you feel there was a time?
And I felt beautiful. And it like.
The whole process for you was,
Yeah. And I am we all. That's why part of it, right? Like self-image, whatever. Yeah. Like I'm pretty hard on myself and everything I do.
Yeah.
So, and I am usually like pretty fit. Most people, I'm not trying to like say I have a really great body or anything, but my body's pretty good.
Say it.
Yeah. But I just said
own it, I guess.
Yeah, I am. I do, like a lot of women, like I'm almost 45.
Yeah.
So a lot of women my age are like, why would you even complain about how you look and what you feel like there's anything wrong with you?
Yeah.
But I just have a high standard for myself. Yeah. And I don't think it's not necessarily even, I guess, about part of it is accepting it. So now I know that I will not, I'm just always going to have like right around my belly button. I'm just going to have a little chunky little roll there and I'm going to be okay with it.
Right.
And you know what? I also don't want to be so, I know it sounds kind of weird, but so fit that it's so hard to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to have a life. Like I want to be healthy. I want to look good.
You don't have Powerade in your trunk of your car?
No, but I do drink greens juices. These really gross. Most people think they're gross, but I can't live without them. It's like I am a bit of a crazy.
Yeah, kept in the trunk of your car.
I don't actually. I eat pretty clean. I mean, I drink.
Yeah, But you said you want to live, right? Like you want to also live your life,
and so now, like, I do my thing, but it's more for like my mental health and how I feel, and
it's switched.
I'm a yoga instructor and I meditate all the time. And honestly, I used to be like a gym rat. Like I'm a type A personality, ADHD. So I can't, and a lot of times like people are, how are you so skinny? Well, I can't sit fucking still. So I burn a lot more calories than you do just by being me. And B, like, is just part of who I am. And I feel better. Like I actually didn't have a diagnosis until adulthood.
Yeah.
And actually like my late 30s, it is what it is. I have to have that in my life. So now though I'm not going to be so strict with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to, you know, do what makes me feel good. So yoga, I'm not looking at it as like results in my body. It's more like, how do I feel?
Yeah.
If it makes me feel good,
right.
then that's great. Right.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't need to be.
Yeah.
If I have a little jiggle, I have a little jiggle.
Yeah.
Right. If I have 3 rolls, I have 3 rolls.
Right.
Or whatever. So
how have you gotten to that place going from
middle fingers up? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like seriously,
like
literally, like
literally.
Is that part of being in your 40s? Like, would you have been there in your 30s or maybe even in your 20s?
Well, I was really fit. I was like,
but did you think about those things then? Like sometimes I look back at pictures. I mean, I'm like, what was I complaining about?
Oh yeah,
5 years ago, let alone 10 years
so
ago.
In 2017, I was like 2017 was the skinniest probably I'd ever been.
Yeah.
There was I went through like a health crisis. And actually, my background, I'm a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine, yoga instructor, personal trainer. I overeducate myself on most things that I am passionate about. So I, though at that time was really sick, so I was grasping at anything to help me. So I actually ended up with like a pharmaceutical interaction that made me like really, really even more sick than what I was before. Which I was down probably honestly 20 pounds less than I am now.
Wow.
Which is not.
How do you even have that on you?
And I thought it was fat. So I remember doing a photo shoot for like this, my girlfriend was, I know. And I look back at those photos and I was so unhealthy. So I was helping her with a branding. She's starting in photography. I was like, yeah, let's do it like for my Instagram page, you know.
Yeah.
Let's do some shoots. And I was so skinny and I just look back at those now but like the bags under my eyes, the hollowness to my cheeks. And even 2 years ago, if you were to take my business card and I should show you guys, you'd be so shocked.
Yeah.
So shocked at what I look like in January 20. What is 2 years? 21?
Yeah. Who knows? COVID, take a year, leave a
like,
year, man.
Just spirit wise, energy wise,
right.
All of it. I would have not been here.
Yeah.
At all.
Wow.
So middle fingers up. I don't care anymore.
Yeah. I like that. I think that's very refreshing to hear, being in sort of the same like in the 40s as well, that there's less give a fucks. I wonder too if some of that is you get to this place in your 40s where, I don't know, that's why I call it the second act. Like you don't want to, like, I hope I have more than 40 years. I want to go out like Betty White. Like I hope I have more than 40 years. But you kind of feel like you're halfway in some ways. And that's, depending on your history, grandparents, parents, what you see. So you sort of start to think a certain way. And I wonder if some of that letting go is also just like working through this next sort of chapter in our lives of, okay, like what do I want to learn from that first half? Because the first half, I mean, there's a lot of learning to still be done. Oh my goodness. The first half was sort of preparing us, I think, in some ways of getting to this place, relationship, self-worth, family, values, all those kinds of things. And so I wonder if some of that letting go that you're talking about is part of that. You're reaching, like getting to your mid-40s soon and thinking, okay, what do I need to shed? And that external stuff, I think we start to think of less and think of, okay, I got to work on the inside, because I can be the skinniest thing in the world, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to feel it. I'm not going to feel good. I'm going to be tired as fuck. And I'm not going to feel good still.
And it doesn't, and I'm very like, my competition, my validation, it all comes from, I'm very internal. Like I actually, as much as like I'm actually quite an introvert. Like I come off as an extrovert, right? Because that's just part of, I mean, it is part of my personality, and like connecting with people is what I do. And so I like it, but I'm actually, by the end of the day, I'm done and tired. I need to recharge. I need to be on my own.
Yeah.
And
internal.
Validation.
So anyway, validation.
Yeah. So I don't actually like when people, be like, hey, good job. Or even like in work, I always do well in work or school or naturally, but I don't like to be validated.
But did you not feel validated after seeing these photos?
I felt wonderful. I really liked it. And there was a lot of other photos that I did. And it was like, I was so happy. Like, it helped me validate my worth and who I am. And part of my, like, I don't give a fuck, middle fingers up. It doesn't matter. Because it doesn't matter. You could say whatever you want to say to me. But if I don't believe it myself, what you're saying, it doesn't, like, it has zero quote.
That's why I think, like, when we're working on, like, and a lot of women, I think, are in this place when a lot of body image is a thing, and that takes up a lot of space in different ways for a lot of us. And it's a good question that you asked, Catherine, like, what did those photos do? Because some people go in feeling like they have a mission. There's like, they know what their goal is, and it's still a process. You still come out on the other end being like, oh, okay, this is interesting. I went in, and I think there's a lot of women too that go in because it's like we want to sort of push ourselves to do something because I'm just tired of thinking that I'm not worthy because I don't look a certain way, because somebody out there decided that this is how women are supposed to look. And so for me, that process was, it was like a therapy session. Like, you got to get comfortable with yourself. And, and so I was joke with Lori, the photographer. I'm like, I went in, like covered up in a hoodie. And I'm like, Lori, I came in covered up and I'm leaving tits hanging out. Like, sorry, mom and papa, I know you're listening. But because, like, you just find this, like, confidence and or build off of it in a way where you're like, oh, I had this in me. Like, I don't know for you, Catherine, like, what was it like for you sort of getting to that place of joining that campaign? Why'd you do it?
Why did I join the campaign?
Yeah.
I should preface this with, Lori did ask us for why we wanted to do this. And we got to read all the stories of these women, and they had beautiful stories for the most part. I was just Instagram targeted.
Oh.
I got the Instagram.
You didn't go into it. Somebody came to you.
This out. I did not seek this out. I was just scrolling through Instagram, and her marketing worked.
Well, that's how I found it too.
Yeah.
But you get lots of ads, actually. I could probably start a whole page on what Instagram has made me buy. But I've got those fleece line tights that look like real tights. Those things are fucking amazing, by the way. I do recommend.
I've gotten those too, yeah. The ads. I have not bought them.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
But I got the Instagram ad, and I'd never thought of doing a boudoir shoot before.
Yeah.
It had never crossed my mind.
What did you think about them? Did you know about them?
And, I've had some friends do them before, and some of them did it for their husbands or, for someone else, a few for themselves.
Yeah.
And, it's often a gift to somebody.
Yeah.
And
like an anniversary.
Yes.
Yeah.
An anniversary gift, a wedding gift.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, to their husband.
Yeah, hopefully. Not to the guests.
Not just to. I took boudoir photos for my
Can you imagine that's the wedding favor when you're sitting, it's like naked pictures of the bride?
Etched on a teacup or something.
On a teacup. That's the best. Drinking your morning coffee.
But I think the campaign spoke to me a bit too. So it wasn't just the boudoir, but it was 40 over 40. It kind of felt like, even though you probably wouldn't meet these women, which luckily we've been able to meet a few, it seemed more of like a community, that you were building this community of women who were all in the same mindset. And again, the mindset was different for many women. Yeah. Some had lost weight, some had gone through crazy things in their lives. For myself, it was maybe something for my self-esteem, for an experience. And to be honest, I don't have any photos, professional photos. I haven't been married. I had, my professional photos were some grad photos that have been taken.
Right.
I have a girlfriend that takes beautiful photos of me randomly in her iPhone.
Oh.
I don't even know if she's got them. And then she'd be like, I took this beautiful photo of you. I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing.
It's easy when you're not when they're just natural.
Yeah, you're not paying attention.
I don't know. It just kind of spoke to me.
Yeah.
And so it did speak to me.
Would you have thought about it in your 20s or 30s to do something like this?
I don't think that it really crossed my mind that it would be something that I would value doing at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe it does have something to do that I'm in my 40s. certain life decisions have been made now that I'm in my 40s. You know, I'm at a certain point, and I was fairly newly single when I signed up as well. I thought, you know, maybe I wanted something to make me feel a certain way, and find you know, myself feeling desirable.
I'll tell you.
I was going to say,
were you ever in those blazers and red lips?
And I have to say, you know,
I desired you a lot in the most appropriate way possible. Now that it's coming out in the way that it's coming out,
in the Christianology flip way.
And you know, when I first signed up, I told a couple of girlfriends, you know, what have I done? You know,
did you have a moment? I
had a moment where you know I impulsively volunteered to do this 40 over 40, and then, you know, what have I done? I call my girlfriends, and they're so supportive. And my girlfriend pulled out all of her blazers and leather jackets and
put a look together for you.
She's pulling looks together for me. Everyone's thinking, you know, this is great for you. You know,
had any of them done it?
None of them have done it.
So no one in your group has done it.
None of them had done it, and they were so supportive.
That's awesome.
That's so cool. I think I like that you say that, because, and that's part of why I'm happy to have both of you here too, because I think as a woman, I feel my experience, unless if they're in your close friend circle or your family, your sister and your cousins, I just feel like we can be so hard on each other, and we can struggle to lift each other up. And often we don't, this is from my opinion, anytime that I didn't lift another woman up, it was because of my own insecurity. It would make me feel like I'm less because I'm saying that they're so great or they did this thing really well. And so that's one thing that I'm really trying to sort of flip and work on in this part of life, is like, that doesn't make me a less person. And I think it's cool to celebrate people. I like being celebrated, so I should also be celebrating people. And so I think having women helping each other in that way and saying, yeah, let's do this, let's make it work. It's such a nice feeling. You know, it's great that my husband, or if you're doing it for a man, let's say, or a partner, like it's great to get that validation. But I don't know, man, for me, it meant something so much more afterwards when a woman looked at my pictures and said whatever they said, all the nice things that they said to me.
Well, you were the sample photos that I was shown.
That's,
you were the sample photos that Lori showed me, and I was like, wow, I just want to, could I just do exactly what she did?
That's meaningful. Thank you for that. You shared that when we met at the gala, and I was like, that's really cool to hear. Or maybe Lori told me, because again, to share that, you know, because we withhold it. Like if we see another woman that we admire, we like something about them, we don't often tell them like, hey, that looks great on you, or you look good. And that's what I loved about that get together and that's why I had to find you. And because when you look at those pictures, and it's really about being vulnerable in different ways. And there's women that were in their late 60s. I think a woman that was maybe even 70. There was this one man that was standing sort of behind me reading one of the pictures, and it was one of these women. And to be honest, I didn't even know her age either. And all of a sudden he's behind me and he starts making these weird, like, choking noises. And I'm like, are you okay, dude? Like, really annoyed by him. And he's like, sorry, I just read how old this woman is, and what the heck? Oh my God. And he was drawn to her picture. He took the time to read up her little write-up, and she was like in her late 60s.
And she looked 40.
Yes. Yeah.
I have hope.
Yeah, well,
we all have hope.
But I think it's what you said though, Amanda, right? It's like letting go and like that fuck it kind of mentality, because I think we wear those things that we're afraid of or that we hold on to. We wear them all over ourselves, and I like to fool myself with concealer and makeup and all these things, but and people can see, and we know, like, we're trying to be something we're not. And I think being able to see these pictures of women or of yourself up there, like, what was the size of that picture that she had of all the women that participated? It was pretty big.
It was pretty big, yeah.
Right? Like, what was it like for you both when you walked up and I'll start with you, Catherine, that when you saw your picture up there? First of all, we didn't know what
we didn't know which photos she was going to choose. Well, mine was a very safe photo that was chosen. Mine was my headshot.
Yeah.
And as much as we say these women were vulnerable in their photos, which you had to be vulnerable, I think that everyone looked pretty fierce.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Right?
that's a good word.
And I think that's
I like to change one of my 3 words.
Yeah, fierce, right?
Yeah, they'd say I'm fierce.
And I think that's kind of what came through in my photo, right?
Yeah.
I think that it was
the
just kind
red
of like,
lips and the way
here
you're
I
looking
am.
over. And,
here I am.
yeah.
Right?
That's what you name it?
Here I am. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
I named it The Wind in My Hair originally. But
move over Beyonce.
There was the wind machine.
Yeah, you did. Was there? Because your hair was? Yeah.
She put a fan on.
Yeah.
There were a lot of photos of kind of like red eyes. And she was like, are you okay with this fan? You know? So that maybe was why I was looking so fierce, like into the wind.
Yeah, you're like, I can't blink, actually.
Yeah,
my eyes dry. But that's the other thing, though. You make a good point is when sometimes we flip through, back in the day when we'd flip through magazines or you look at pictures of models and women and you think, oh, whatever. Or you quickly, go to the next thing where you think, I can do that. Why is she getting paid to do that? And then you go do a
Have you thought that? I could do that.
Full of shit again, right? They're back to full of shit. Yeah, totally. 100%. Been like out of my own insecure, been like, oh, like, why does this model get all this? Like, that's bullshit, whatever. She's just standing there. But like any pose that you're doing is, did you not get sore? There was times where I'm like, my leg is cramping. And I had a whole different appreciation for all women after that. And like, it doesn't even matter if you said it's my headshot or someone's just taking a picture. Like Lori's whole point was she wants people to exist. Mm-hmm. And you could feel women in those pictures and hoping that, we will take more pictures of ourselves because we don't. And I think that's what it was like was I got to give women more credit because you think, oh, this is just a whatever picture, but it's more than that, when someone's sharing something or they do that, it's art. And I think it's appreciating in a different way. Mm-hmm. Did you want to add? I was going to ask you too, but like, do you want to add more to your boudoir story?
I think the only other thing that I would add is leading up to the boudoir shoot. I initially, after signing up, thought, well, I better start exercising and eating healthy.
Getting ready.
Yeah.
However, I continue to eat a serving size of 4 for my meals, the pasta box.
Might as well, once you start pouring it out into the boiling, you're like, might as well just finish it all.
I'm eating for a family. I'm eating for a family.
Sometimes it doesn't look enough in the pot until afterwards, maybe.
And then you just continue to eat it, right? You continue to eat it. But yes, leading up to the photo shoot, I thought, now is the time to start eating healthy and exercising. I want to look good in these photos. And I didn't change anything. And you know what? Part of it was going in as who I am. This is who I am.
Yeah.
And I have to accept it.
I love that. Yeah.
And the photos were amazing.
Yes.
The photos were amazing.
Yeah.
And again, as much as you have internal validation, it is nice to see external validation, even if it's just you yourself looking at these photos thinking, oh my goodness, like I didn't know I could look like that.
Yeah.
And I have to say the nicest things several of my friends said to me was, well, that's how we see you every day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My friends, can we get better at this, please? Like, can I have your friends?
Absolutely, right? They do lift me up, right?
Yeah,
they are very supportive. I'm very lucky.
You must do that for them too.
I hope I do.
Yeah,
me
too.
Because
otherwise,
I feel like they're all
lucky.
amazing. They're all amazing people, right?
But that's what. Do you feel like you've always been surrounded yourself around friends in that sense? Yeah, like that's been a theme for you.
It's definitely my friends are my family.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
and they're very important to me.
Yeah, and you also used one of the words that they would describe you as was loyal. So that's interesting. Yeah,
yeah,
I like that.
I have a good tribe.
Yeah. Awesome. I was talking to a couple of friends a couple of months ago on Instagram about something that one of us, I don't know, a meme or something we sent. And we talked about how it can get lonely as women as you get older, because sometimes your identity is something that you realize later it's not, like maybe being a mom or maybe your job or maybe whatever the other option is. And then as for some women, as they get older, they think, oh, I put so much effort into these things and I lost my friends along the way.
Right.
Because, I had my husband and maybe my kids and maybe my job or all these, buying a house, all these things that you do as you're getting older and becoming an adult. That's exciting. And then, you're settled and then you look around and you're like, oh, where did my friends go? So it's a really interesting interaction we have, because it's like, that's the thing. Like I, like you, am very grateful if it's not family members, it's definitely friends that I've had, and we've circled around each other, and you don't need a massive circle. I think you need like one person in your life that you feel you can have outside of you to give that external validation or, you know, remind you that you're being whatever you're being, you know, like I think we all need that.
Yeah. You don't need 100 friends.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 100 would be great.
That'd be so great.
Like
very
fun
popular.
every weekend. Yeah. Yeah.
Lots of plans.
So many plans.
Dinner dates,
like
but,
so many plans. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's the quality of those relationships.
Yeah.
For sure.
You start to recognize that. I was going to go back to you for a second because I asked Catherine, I was going to ask you, when you walked in the gala, what stood out for you when you saw your picture?
The fact that they were packing up because I was really late, so I didn't really have the same experience as walking in.
Did you at least get a candy bag while you were there?
They popped a bottle of champagne for us.
Oh, that's nice. Yes.
So honestly, I wish I would have gone earlier. So I don't think it was... Actually, one of my best friends came with me. I did not tell a single person that I was doing it.
Oh, it was just you. No one, not one person knew?
Not one person knew.
Interesting.
Oh my God, I told everyone.
I didn't tell a single soul.
I told a few, very few, but I did tell a few. I didn't like that. Like, I don't think I could not tell anyone. How did you decide to do that?
It was for me.
Yeah.
It was just very, like, that's why I did it. It was honestly for me, and I didn't.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really like, I just didn't feel like it was really, it was just for me.
Did you tell anyone after? I mean, you were on global news. So
I didn't know that though. Like, I actually literally did not.
So some people may have found out after.
I think so. Well, but your face is hidden.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Your picture. That's right. We can't see your face. Yeah.
Oh, we've just let the whole
now they all know. All our millions and millions and trillions, billion, platinums,
infinity.
Yeah, infinities listeners. Yeah, would know now. That that's funny because I guess no one would. You're right. You can because yours was very interesting in that it drew me to you because it was a motion picture. So that's so funny saying it that way, but you're sitting and you're sort of moving your head to one side, and Lori's catching this picture with your hair sort of following you. So your hair covers your face.
So there's a series of them. Oh. So there's 3 of them.
Yeah,
and that picture's sick. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
But the 3 of them...
And it's like boom, boom, boom. Like a story.
It's like me tossing my hair, right?
Yeah.
So it's all separate captions of that motion.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool.
It was so well done. I tried to redo that. I did a branding photo shoot.
Sorry.
And
I don't mean to laugh at you.
No, you should, because that was the whole punchline. You should see those pictures. It looks like really like I have 10 heads at once because it's like so bad. I was like, how the fuck did she do it? But again, see, you see something and you think, oh yeah, let's try this. And it's like, it's you. That was your thing.
I was just going to say that was
to do, right? Yeah. Like, yeah, because mine looked hilarious. Mine's like failed it. Yeah.
It's like Celeste Barber. Or she's like
100%. Oh, now we should really do something like that.
We should do a duo.
Yeah, 100. Because my hair is not long either, so it's super short. So it's like can't even really cover my face. It was really bad.
But it's a good idea.
The idea was, the idea alone from the action was great, but the action involved
the execution.
The execution.
You needed Lori.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Well, Lori took the picture.
Oh, dear.
It was me.
Well, Lori.
Yeah. You sometimes
direct better.
You know what? That's a good point. When Lori says she can't take credit, though she's right, because when there's a good picture, we give, we're always like, oh, we give the photographer credit.
Yeah, but you did it.
But it's, even the bad ones are your responsibility.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
The burning eyes with the fan. She was so concerned. I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, this is what we models do. You suffer.
Yeah.
Right?
It definitely is not comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Those poses. But she did tell us to stretch. I mean, it wasn't like it was a surprise.
I was like, bullshit.
Which kind of scared me. Right?
Like, some of the poses I saw other women doing, and I thought, oh, that's what that was meant to look like. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, I see now.
Yeah.
I was not able to do
that. Yeah. Well, some hand and foot poses are very feminine, and my hands and my feet can't go like you gotta like be primp and move your hand a certain way, and mine's like constantly in west side symbol.
Yeah, so I feel like Lori kept on reminding me, no.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Hide your hands.
Yes. I had broken my toe.
Oh, before the photo
just
shoot?
prior to the photo shoot. I sent Lori a message saying, I hope your Photoshop skills are up to par. It was black.
Oh, no.
But it had all the bruising had gone before the photo shoot. Yeah.
Could you move it around though?
Yeah.
That's
it was
intense.
just fat. It still is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like the big toe?
The middle toe.
Oh.
I gave a middle toe up.
You did give a middle toe. You're the first official middle toe upper.
Middle toe up.
That's like a micro middle finger.
Yes.
So it's like a little micro thing to get off your chest.
I'll send you a photo.
Can you?
Yeah.
I'll post it.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
Of your toe.
Enjoy.
Yeah, repost it. So I just a couple things I wanted to ask you guys. So I wanted to play a little game with you. What are some things this is funny. What are some things that you think about as women in your 40s? You guys should Google this. It was funny. It was like, how to talk to a woman in your 40s if you're dating her. So I was like, oh, that's cute. Like a young person dating someone in their 40s. That's hilarious. And then it was like, what do women really want in their 40s? And it was like quality love. Instead of material things, women want you to make that tea right. And I was like, fuck that shit,
I want material goods.
Like, I can make my tea decent enough. I'd rather you go to the store and buy me like expensive shit instead. Like,
absolutely.
I don't, you know, so I was like,
I can make my own tea.
Can I rewrite this? Because I'm like, that we don't want quality. We don't need quality. You've told us all our lives we don't need it. We don't want it now. Now we want fun, cool things like fanny packs that you can wear everywhere.
I can always use a new jacket. You know?
Yeah, crystals and shit.
Jewelry.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Perfume once in a while, too.
Bring on the material goods.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes even just like a shopper's hygiene haul because it's so expensive. And it's
absolutely. Every trip to Sephora.
Yeah.
So expensive.
Oh, gross. I agree. Like, I agree. I can't do it. It's so hard.
I don't even wear makeup. I wear
I'm natural.
little
I'm
makeup.
so naturally beautiful. I don't wear any makeup.
I have like 4 pieces of makeup I wear. And I'm like, how is this so expensive?
It doesn't matter. One thing costs a lot nowadays. Are you good there, buddy?
Yeah, I have ADHD, remember?
Yeah.
I gotta
have a popper.
I was thinking about they're too far away.
Jalapeno
and then
popper.
you'd hear me eat, and that will really irritate me if I hear myself eat.
Yeah, hey. Okay, I'm gonna pick. So just back to, I looked up some questions.
Anyway, I don't want material things. I want the cup of tea with really nice honey.
You're that woman.
You're different. You're different than us.
You're the one woman on Google that put that up there.
Sorry,
interesting.
I mean, I'll also take the tea.
I want to have somebody who's
tea.
financially responsible and has goals, but I don't want your money. I'll share it with you, but I'm not.
I'll share your money.
You're like J-Lo 2000 and something with love don't cost a thing.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Oh, I want to make money, but I want to live life. I don't need it for
You are Chriselle.
Why does she say shit like
well,
this?
Chriselle is. Oh, now you don't know. Chriselle
I told you I'm 2 seasons behind.
She's just so
I'm sweet and innocent.
Yeah. Who would you be?
I don't feel I identify very closely with the Sunset women. However, I would like to be.
So good.
I would like to be.
Do you identify with the Kardashian one?
I would like to be Christine. She seems like the funnest one.
Oh my gosh, Catherine.
You know what?
Christine's the worst one.
Oh, I love her. She's so exciting.
She could be.
No, you're the better version. Christine. I mean. I think at one point I was
her do those yoga poses? She looked great.
Yeah, 2 seconds after giving birth.
Absolutely.
That was the other
hero. What a hero. And that lipstick? Hell yeah.
See the red lips.
Oh
the red lips.
Yeah.
I could see you giving that vibe off. Not necessarily being you're not
the bitchy vibe.
Me.
Yeah.
The bitchy vibe.
Yeah.
But you could definitely.
The worst vibe.
Yeah,
it's not even
condescending, backstabbing.
It's the worst.
That doesn't really fit.
It's like you don't get to go say you just had a baby and then hold this newborn baby and then jump on the couch after you just said that you almost died. It was my baby and I almost died. I had to go into emergency C-section.
And then she looked like a Barbie doll.
And then she's exactly. And then she's doing the yoga poses.
Don't you want to be her?
Oh, well,
right?
According to her, women can have it all.
And yes, I'd love to have it all.
I had an emergency C-section and I couldn't even lift my baby the next day.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not supposed to. You're definitely not supposed
to.
You're
not Christine Strong.
No, I'm not. I am not.
You should start a hashtag that's Christine Strong.
Ooh.
Christine Strong.
Yeah. I like that.
Oh my gosh, she's okay. I'm gonna ask you some questions because we want to know what's going on, what happens in our 40s, and what are we thinking about? What's changed over the last few years? Maybe nothing, maybe something. Let's see. And so I just randomly like picked out a couple. So you guys can even like pick one out of here.
To ask you?
No, you get asked though. I'm asking you. Nobody wants to know about me. They want to know about you. Okay, ready? My questions are always to one of you, but you guys also ask each other. Okay? I'll go first.
Do we pick?
However many you get.
Okay.
Ooh, this is interesting. We just talked about this. Amanda, I will ask you this. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to ask you this. I'm going to ask you this, Christine.
Christine. Christine. My name has changed.
That came out so naturally. Like,
I am now the villain in the room.
I can't even say that I did that on purpose. You are now Christine.
I wouldn't say no to that.
Okay, Christine, how has your perception of yourself and your body evolved as you've gotten older? You're such an old lady now. You're like those cards with like the boob sagging and the walkers. It's like over the hill. Like,
I feel like we're not old enough for
right?
that, right?
But that's how it was when we were younger, right?
Yes, I feel like you feel like 40 is so old.
Yeah, everything hurts.
Yes, you're just, life is over.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I think we talked about this earlier too, looking back.
Yeah.
As back to where we were in our youth, how great we looked and how much we questioned it. Man, if I could look like that now.
Yeah.
But now I don't think that I think about it much, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like I've always been like just like average girl, average looking, average size, average, above average intelligence.
Because you're brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
But do I see myself evolving versus my body evolving separately?
Like, I would think it's
probably different, Everything's getting a bit tighter in my wardrobe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But my perception of my body, I think, has always been kind of quite healthy. I don't think I've had...
Did you have good role models around you growing up?
No, not like with regards to body image.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. This is a difficult question, I guess. I'm having to think back. I feel like it wasn't really, my mother was always thinking, everything's tight. I need to cover up, whatnot. But it wasn't, there's no obsession over what we're eating and how we're exercising.
You're too skinny or you're too fat.
Exactly,
those are your two options.
And so now I think it's just always trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
Rather than a certain size.
So can I ask you, so if someone's listening right now who, and maybe they're not even in their 40s, but maybe are struggling with sort of their body and maybe their perception of themselves, like what would be one thing that you would say to them to encourage them, to help them get to kind of where you're at? Like what would you suggest to them to think about?
Ooh, that's tough, because I think everyone has their own reasons for having that struggle.
Yeah. Go kind of like dig deep and learn about where it's coming
from. I guess so.
Where
kind of the root of where that struggle is coming from. And again, I say this as someone, I'm quite tall. Being tall is very forgiving.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Christine's tall too on that
Christine
show.
Is tall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not answering this very well.
I don't think that's true. I think the pauses are also like necessary too. I think that's it's a pretty loaded question.
It's a very loaded question.
It's like you're a Miss Universe, right? It's like world peace.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
And I think everyone has their own struggle, right?
Yeah,
so it's a bit different.
Can't everybody?
But I don't know. I think it's just you have to find what's going to make you feel good. However, that speaks to you. Again, I think I've probably been very fortunate with the people I surround myself with. Very encouraging. The other day I went for a bike ride. My first road bike ride for quite some time. Ooh. And I said to my girlfriend, everything is quite tight. And she said, I'm so sorry. I invited you to a pub the other night. I can choose healthier options later, which was very encouraging and very supportive. And I said, I was just thinking I need to buy a bigger size.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
That's right.
I'm not so concerned about the fact that it is too tight, but I don't know what advice I would really give other than you just kind of have to find what speaks to you and what works for you, right? Whether it's, it's good to feel good, right? Whatever that means, whether it means exercise and not changing your diet or changing your diet, but being suitable to how you want to live,
Yeah.
right? You still have to live, you know?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. No, I like that. That's fair. Okay, my next question is to you, Amanda.
Okay. Unless I'm just taking a question.
Ooh, this one's like a good one. It's also like interesting. These questions are very interesting.
Loaded question.
Ooh, okay, this is a good one for you. Okay,
Yeah,
what's
go.
one goal or dream you've pursued in your 40s or accomplished? So what's one goal that you've pursued or accomplished?
In my 40s?
Yeah, in this decade.
Okay,
What's
sorry,
one
what
thing
is
that
saying?
stands? What's a goal or accomplishment in your 40s that stands out for you that you?
So,
yeah,
I changed careers 2.5
right. You were
years
saying,
ago.
yeah.
And so from year 1 to year 2, I was able to like double my income and make only with 6 more kind of deals that year. So, and it was my goal to double it. And then this year I want to as well increase it again, but I'm redoing my business. I know I say I'm like it's not about material things for me though.
More money, Chriselle.
Yeah, more money, more problems though.
I can go to Australia more often.
Oh, there you go. Don't go to UK. You won't be able to donate
No,
blood.
you can't give blood.
Mad cow
I
disease.
still don't have to look
It was a
look the
certain
fact check
I
later.
feel like it was certain years.
Yeah.
That
As
if you
well,
visited
that if
during
you
that
went,
time,
you couldn't give blood if you
So
went during those
interesting.
years.
Yeah.
So, but I think that was just important for me because it was a goal that I did set and it changed our lives for my son and I. Yeah, we were able to experience a lot of cool things last year because of it. And I now have set like a new standard for how I want to experience life.
Yeah. Do you guys have questions? You want to ask one? One of you?
I do.
Also, I forgot to tell you the rules. This is supposed to be like rapid fire reflections. We're supposed to answer them
Really quickly?
The first thing that comes to your mind. I forgot to tell you that. Rapid fire.
Okay, I have one. What's one piece of wisdom or insight you'd pass on to younger women entering their 40s?
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
What would you do, Amanda?
Don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck.
Stop giving a fuck.
Stop taking life so seriously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like be who you want to be. And that's all that matters.
Yeah, definitely. You already know who that person is.
Yeah.
Just be it.
And when you were talking about that, sorry, I know it was rapid fire, but when you were talking about that earlier, like, and saying, you know, this is like your second chapter, and you want to redo things. I think part of it too is because we've lived so much life at this point that you're learning, right?
Yeah.
And then you're at a point where they call it like a midlife crisis, but you do reevaluate. Like my son's leaving. Well, potentially, maybe at some point soon.
He's getting ready to go to college.
Eventually.
Yeah, like eventually he will. But even like since he's empty nesting and stuff, like it's just been me and him. So he doesn't want to talk to me a lot. So I got a wiener dog. Her name's Luna and I love her. And we have a lot of deep conversations. But it's like also like launching kids is interesting to adulthood. It's almost like
I've had to let go of him. And that's
like a grief and loss. Because if he's been there
100%.
all this time, right? And now what's your life going to be? I don't know if you saw my Instagram post the other day, but I wanted to go visit him at work. Like the text message, because I'm always, do you want to hang out? Like, I am that mom, I'm not going to lie. I only ask once now, but I used to pressure him a little bit more.
Just show up.
Anyway, I was like, hey, can I come see you at work? Or we haven't really done a lot lately. And we traveled a lot last year.
That's nice, yeah.
Together. And we haven't just really, our last trip was in November and then we just were so busy. Anyway, so I miss that and I miss him right now. But I asked to go see him at work. He works at a golf course. And I was like, well, I'll just come to the driving range and you can help me. He's like, no, my boss is here and no other moms do that.
Boundary setting.
Yeah.
That's good for him to learn that.
He's becoming an adult. But and they have to help totally. It goes both ways. We set with them and then they get to this age where they start to, even as adults, we do that with our family members, you know, like how much we see each other, what we choose to share with each other or not. So it's interesting when you start to get that from your kid, because there's always a first with these things. So yeah.
So I am going to be like starting.
Yeah, kind of
like I'm almost like, I almost am reinventing like where I'm at and where I want to go, because he'll still be a part of my life. But like even 5 years. Yeah.
Of course he will. Of course he will.
But my kids have no choice.
Even, 5 years ago, I didn't know that this is where I would be at. So it's like, revise and revisit and what's really important to you and where do you really want to go, and it like just get really clear on that.
Yeah. Sometimes I laugh when I think men get it really bad with this midlife crisis thing and, you know, they go buy the muscle car. But like, I think now that I'm in my 40s, I'm like, I think they're just, I mean, I can't speak for them, but that whole stereotype, it was probably about, hey, I if I'm going to buy it, I better just do it. Like you put it off, you put these things off and you have to work, you have to do certain things, you have certain responsibilities, or, you know, maybe you also think you're not worth whatever those things are. And then you get to this place and like for me, a career, that was my life. It was my baby, you know, and to be like, I gotta revisit some stuff in my life and be close to my family. That 5 years ago, if you had asked me, would you still, you know, you may not be working your job, I'd be like, yeah, you're dumb.
Yeah.
That you're the worst psychic in the world, right? So like sometimes you just don't know. You plan for things and you really don't know, and you look back and you think, oh, that makes sense, that road that I took and I ended up where and then there's other things you're like, huh. Do you feel that way at all?
So big pause.
Yeah.
Pause. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, really. Yeah. That was a loaded statement. It was a loaded statement.
Like, do you ever like look back and think, oh, like I didn't know that I was going to take that route?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, like, or that made sense that I did that. Like, you know, went to university or didn't go or got a job. You know, like there's
the life path that we ended up on. Oh, yeah. I did not think this is where I was going to end up. Of course, at 19, I thought I would be married with 2 children at the age of 26, right?
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. And life's taken different turns and it continues to.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny that you say that. I actually like I've always been a little bit of like, not like, just like I'm pretty impulsive and I just kind of always done whatever I want. Like, so I don't want to wait for anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I want to go to a concert, like I want to go to a concert. I don't, and if you can't go, then I'll find someone else to go with me because I want to go to a concert. But so when you said that, like at that age, I was like, probably voted the least to like get married, have kids. And it wasn't because it wasn't like crazy, but I just was just a free spirit type of, but I was married and pregnant at 26.
There you go.
Right? Like, just opposites. Sometimes you just, sometimes you don't know. What question do you know you have?
Oh, I have.
Yeah. Rapid fire.
Sorry.
Rapid.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
How do you stay inspired and motivated to continue growing and evolving?
Ooh. You can take that one, Catherine?
I feel like it's, you need to keep on growing only because it's boring if you don't, right? It's the minutia, you know, so I think the inspiration just comes from, for me, maybe out of boredom, right? If I'm feeling a bit stagnant, something needs to change.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's my rapid fire.
That was good. That was quick. That was good. Okay. Share one thing you wish you knew in your 20s that you know now.
I would share, probably again, back just to the same theme as, you know, life doesn't have to be so serious.
Yeah.
You can take it as it goes, you know?
I don't look good in a pixie cut.
Don't get the bangs.
Yeah.
Right?
That was a terrible decision.
Don't get the bangs.
Don't get the bangs. Ever. Yeah. No matter what they say. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Buy the house.
Do it. It'll get more expensive.
Right? Because it just gets more expensive.
Hey, I can attest to that. AM Jane Realty.
AM Jane Realty here. Yeah. Selling sunset style.
I wish I would have bought a house in my 20s when I first moved to Calgary.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
regrets. Life regrets.
100%. Yeah. Okay, one more question. And then we're going to wrap up.
I did have a comment on that. Sorry. Back on your buy a house, right? Like in your, why did you want to buy? Sorry, I'm playing it a little devil's advocate.
Oh, you're going back?
Like a little bit of philosophical, again, because.
Why do I feel that way now?
Yeah, like financially, or is it like something that you feel like
financially? Yeah, I'd be cruising now if I had done that.
If you had done that.
It was just a.
Yeah.
But do you think you would have held on to it?
No, I would have sold and bought a new one.
And flip it.
You know, flip it.
Yeah, all that stuff that they do.
It's pretty rare for people to buy houses like in their 20s, really. And even now, I do know people who have. But one thing they do say to do is when your children become like a certain age, like even 18, if they're going to stay at home for a bit, because it is like a lot of people are buying houses. Sorry, this is a totally different kind of topic.
No,
but
it's realty talk.
But yeah, for their kids, right? Like, so they're helping them buy, you know, whatever they can just to get them in the market right now or what have you. But also a good savings plan was if they are going to stay at home, like if you charge them like $250 rent or whatever, but you put it in their savings. So then it's like a savings plan for their own down payment, like in 4 or 5 years, which is, I think is a really fantastic.
That shit, man. You figure it out. That's my rule.
Right?
You want a house, then figure it out. I'll help you map it out, but I had to figure it out myself. I talked to friends about that too. Like I have some friends that say like, kind of help your kids to a point, but they have to pay back or whatever, right? And I'm like, yeah, totally. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you change your mind. But my parents didn't have anything for me, and I'm so grateful for that. Yeah, because I learned how to, with Carrie, we were so young when we got together, but we learned how to work for it. Yeah. And get a job. We had that drive. Right. Because like I had nowhere to go otherwise. We had to figure something. We had to like, what are we going to do? Right. So it's not like I had my parents' house to live at or what. So I'm grateful for that because I think we wouldn't understand value and even like, how do you paying heat bills at a young, you understand what actually living below your means is, which is just have fun, but be basic. Like you don't need luxury, because sometimes I find those people that come from, have that, grow up in that, it's you get lost. I mean, you see it on Selling Sunset, for example. You see on the Kardashians, you see people that get lost in that.
You need to know your worth and value and what you should to receive,
have fun,
and
but
and be open. But yeah, there's definitely, not clearly because you don't really know me yet, but I've worked for everything. Everything I have, right? Yeah. And that's why I have a plan. But
my only thing is like if your parents they're in a place where they can give you stuff. Yeah. I think it's cool too. Like,
absolutely. They want to share with you.
You do that. That's your thing for sure. But my only, like, it's kind of like that merging, like, pet peeve is also, like, give them the credit. Because I've also seen young people get the hand down from their family, but also don't give their parent, like, be grateful and blessed 100%. That your parents could give this versus thinking you did this on your own. That's sometimes something I struggle with, because it's like your parents should get the credit. Like if my parents gave me something like that, I feel they should get the credit, And I see young people in my community with weddings. Their parents pay for this whole luxurious, massive, if you've ever been to a Sikh wedding, they're great if you're a guest, but if you're paying for it, it's a lot. And I know not all brown people are that rich. Yeah. I know that. There's no way they're that rich. But their parents pay for these weddings and it's like cool. But also like there's got to be some understanding. And like if my parents are paying for this, that means they're going to have somewhat of a say. So there's always this like fight. And I see sometimes young people being, taking advantage of that as well. Well, whatever, pay the extra or whatever because it's being taken care of. I don't know. I struggle with that because I didn't get that. Yeah. That's my own stuff, right? And so I like to appreciate the 94 Dodge Caravan to drive. Oh, yeah. That would burn oil. And, like.
We're up in those.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I think that's just my version. So when I think of my kids, I only bring in my context, right? And think, okay, no, you're gonna have to work for this. But who knows? I might win the lottery and change my mind and be I think
here's your private jet. An opportunity.
Yeah. You don't need to drive. You have a driver.
I think as parents, you do want to give your children a leg up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
My parents paid for my university.
There you go. There you go.
Boom.
Yeah.
They set me up for life.
Yeah.
And they're still generous when they
I just paid off my student loans.
Right?
I know. I did a few
so
years ago.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
And I think that's also why, to be honest, I have one child, right? So all my love, all my resources, everything, a lot of it gets directed towards him. So that is one thing actually in my 40s where I've started taking back is if I want to go on a trip by myself, you have to stay home. And that's hard for me because we're super tight, right? Yeah. Or so I think anyway.
Yeah.
Reality check.
It's a secret. You don't know. It's a surprise party. You're the only one at.
Totally. But yeah, like, and I don't know. So I don't have anywhere else to direct it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so like he does. And he is a good kid. And like, but yes, I mean, has he been spoiled? 100%. I have spoiled him.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Absolutely.
I can't sit here and say we haven't either. Like
and
Christmases.
But is he responsible and is he a hard worker? He's also seen me work hard.
That's what matters.
He's very respected with other parents. He's a good kid. He's going to be an entrepreneur. He's not going to be a 9-to-5er, but that's also how he grew up watching. He's having a hard time right now making $15 an hour to live at minimum wage.
Yeah. So
and this is
you can have it.
This is, if you don't.
Right.
Do whatever. This is what your life will be, right? Yeah. And if you like it, great. I have no judgment on people and whatever they do.
It's very hard to survive on that, unfortunately.
It is.
Like, if you're living outside of mama's house, $15 an hour is great for a young person. Like my kids, like I'd make that totally, but not if you're relying on that, paying bills and it's expensive being a young person these days. There's lots of things to do now. Okay, so at this point, is there anything that you wish I had asked or that you wish you had shared today about what we talked about?
I would like to share a story which can be cut out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this reminded me. So Amanda has given me the nickname of Sea Dog.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Which I gave you, Kieran, the nickname of K Dog.
Yes.
And then you in turn have called Amanda A Dog.
Yes. Yeah.
So when I was in Mexico
yeah.
earlier this year.
Yeah.
Or last year, whenever I was there last with a girlfriend of mine, we met some locals.
Okay.
Aged 19, 20.
Mm.
And on the dance floor, one of them asked me, how old are you?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I am 41. And he said, oh, you are coyotes. I do believe he meant cougar. However, isn't that fitting for the nicknames?
So coyotes. Yeah. I love it. It's not cougars. She can't even get her laugh out. No. I love it. Coyotes, even better.
Coyotes.
We're dogs.
Right?
I am totally going to use that.
Yeah, we're dogs.
It's a group of dogs here.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. So we got A dog, C dog, and K dog. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, I can't cut that. I'm not cutting that out.
No, sorry, you cannot.
It's almost like they predicted the future.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That 19-year-old really, he saw the future.
He knew.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He knows. Mm-hmm. He's the one that wrote on Google what people or women in their 40s.
Maybe you should enter it into Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Coyotes.
Yeah,
women
what it means.
over the age of 40.
Yeah.
Who have done boudoir shoots.
Yeah, you have to add that.
We're dogs.
There's a caveat to it.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
You're a cougar.
It's like when you get those medications and there's all the side effects.
Yes.
Like there's way more side effects than not. And you're worried.
It's the smaller font. Yeah.
Yeah.
Women over 40, bold.
Yeah.
Who have done boudoir shoots.
That's funny.
That's right. Boudoir for sure. Okay. Anything for you?
I don't think so.
Okay, so then my last question to you guys is, I always ask my guests, and I forgot to tell you this too, I always ask my guests to do the call to action. So leave the listeners with something that maybe they can think about, or maybe they can go and do something that maybe you found helpful in this conversation, or even just in life in general. I mean, we were talking about 40s, but life in general is kind of what the conversation turned into. So,
well, I think back to being in our 40s, doing this 40 over 40 photo shoot. I had a girlfriend recently tell me, maybe I'm going to do that when I'm 50.
Yeah.
And I'm going to work out and I'm going to look badass in this photo shoot. Mm-hmm. And I said, just do it now.
Yeah.
Why wait? Why wait for that momentous occasion? And and don't worry about the way you look then.
Mm-hmm.
Be happy with who you are right now.
Yeah.
Right? Live in the moment.
I like that. Yeah. I had a similar talk with a friend too about that.
Yeah.
I was there too. Like in my 20s, I wanted to do this, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get tighter and hotter and
it's
whatever.
Like looking at that pair of pants in the closet, thinking one day I'll fit back into.
Totally, yeah.
Get rid of them.
Yeah,
just buy.
They're from grade 11.
Yeah,
jeez, Kieran, they're not even in style.
Just get the right.
Actually,
size.
probably are.
Yeah, low rise, right?
Right.
But that's just it. Like being in the now and being okay with where I'm at, and
absolutely
not where I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, I mean, have goals, of course, but. Be happy with who you are.
Yeah. That's good. What about for you? What's one thing that you can leave people with?
Age is just a number.
Oh.
And regardless, like even what you just said, right? Like, why wait till you're 50? Like, it doesn't matter.
Anything could happen, right?
Yeah. Age is just a number. And it is like, you're just as young as you feel.
Yeah.
You're as old as you feel, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's it.
I agree. Okay, so we started this little affirmations thing. My friends, my one friend and a half, gave to me, and so the last podcasters that were actually on, they sort of started the trend. So you guys are the guests after that. So you get to read out your affirmations, then you get to write a little note later. So what did you randomly pick, Amanda? What'd you get?
Give yourself time to just be.
Ooh. And you kind of had talked a little bit about that in the beginning. Is that fitting for you?
Yeah, it just goes back to, again, just for me, like validation on feeling only like I'm worthy if I'm achieving something or moving forward, and I guess, I mean, even in this, you can hear I'm goal orientated, like, even though I don't think I really am, but I guess really I am, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I think it helps keep me on track
Yeah,
of life
for sure.
as well. But so I'm learning to lean back, lean into my feminine energy. That's another reason actually why I wanted to do it. Like, I am feminine, but I mean, I've had to be very masculine and not as much feminine for most of my life, I would guess. Like, I'm, play a lot of sports, athletic. My mom never wore makeup. There wasn't a lot of princessy
girly kind of stereotypes.
Yeah. So it was just small town farm girl type thing. So, and if I did try to be that person, I would be judged for it. So now, middle fingers up, I don't give a fuck. And they just call me whatever. Like, I'll wear whatever. Like, if I want to wear a dress, wherever I want to wear a dress, I'm going to wear a dress.
Yeah.
Or, so anyway, just being validated for just being who you are and not just for existing. And just, we're all here and we're all worthy.
Yeah.
So
we are.
Yeah, just for being here.
I like that. Good. And what affirmation do you get?
My card reads, that dream was planted in your heart for a reason.
Oh, I like that.
Wow. Does that resonate in any way?
I think that, maybe I need to reconsider what dreams I do have. Maybe I have different dreams now. Something
I like
to leave thinking about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like this. You guys are like making me say I like that a lot. And that's because I do. Like, lots of interesting. I think the pauses are always good when we sort of take a moment and we're thinking, and I'm like just start talking really quick kind of thing. But I really appreciate it. There's been a lot of pausing in our conversation today, and I feel like it's because you guys are being so thoughtful. So thank you for that. I'll read you mine. Mine says, you will bloom if you take the time to water yourself. And true. I love this. Very I love true. This, love this. And I love this because I've said this a few times. We had a part of the catalyst to why I sort of resigned from my job and really wanted to do this podcast was finding my voice again. And we had a good friend pass away just as I was making the decision to resign. And he was about our age. He and his wife had 2 kids that were about my kids' age. And it was very sudden, just about over a year ago. And he used to always say, the grass is greener where you water it. And I just loved, like, I'd never heard that from anyone else. We always think the grass is greener on the other side. Maybe things will be better the other way. I want to order the food that you have in front of you and not appreciating what I have. So it's kind of cool that I got that, because that his whole, the grass is greener where you water it was sort of the catalyst to, like, take care of yourself, help yourself out, be okay with where you're at versus trying to get to somewhere else. So I thought that was a good one. So they're fun. I look forward to the little notes you guys leave on there. Okay, so we're going to wrap up. I just want to thank everyone else for listening today. Today's conversation was really a lot about a couple of women getting together, sitting in the same room with me and talking about what our journey doing these boudoir shots was. But really, honestly, it was about just having a few women get together and have some laughs and talk about what life is like. We're all sort of on the same path, but we're not. We're walking our own route. And so I think it's important, if you're listening, to understand that there are lots of ways to walk in this journey. And if you ever feel alone, the whole point of the show is to help you feel like you're not alone and that there is a light and you have ideas or topics or things that you'd like to hear and we're not talking enough about. You can reach me on Instagram at MFU Podcast, or via email, info@mfupodcast.com. I always say these conversations are door openers, so let us know what you want to hear, what's on your mind. Thank you to the both of you for coming out tonight and hanging out with me and drinking some Prosecco. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
That was fun.